Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to Jets Media. This is Richie, and in this video, we're going to be recapping the New York Jets' victory over the New York Giants with a final score of 31-27. Wow, what a game to finish off the preseason for the New York Jets. The Jets finished 3-0. Robert Saleh is officially undefeated in the preseason in his first 2 times as a New York Jets head coach. And Streveler magic is real. He had one of the best quarterback performances you can ask for by any quarterback in the preseason. Denzel Mims had a breakout performance a couple days after he was officially requested a trade. We saw the starting defense go out there and absolutely dominate the starting New York Giants offense. We also saw Joe Flacco's first opportunity to go out there with the starting offensive line and playmakers around him. So there's a lot of things to dive into in today's video, recapping of what happened in the New York Jets versus the New York Giants matchup at MetLife Stadium. Before we hop into the video, I just want to mention, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and most importantly, comment down below your biggest takeaways from the New York Giants and the New York Jets game that finished up a couple hours ago. Also, like the video if you guys enjoy. I greatly appreciate that. With that being said, let's get right into the video. So, starting off with the first quarter with the starters, Joe Flacco was moving the ball efficiently to start off that drive. We saw Michael Carter have a really good play where he got the ball and he made someone miss behind the line of scrimmage, picked up a couple extra yards. You see Joe Flacco slinging the rock to Braxton Berrios, slinging it to Conklin, slinging it to Davis. And you're like, all right, let's go. Joe Flacco and this offense is moving. And then on 3rd and 10, Joe Flacco completes it to Michael Carter. Michael Carter makes someone miss. Great, first down, but Michael Carter fumbles the football. And that results in a New York Jets turnover. So it was a lot of positive that resulted in that turnover on downs. Very unfortunate. Not really concerned about that fumble at all, because Michael Carter did not have any fumbles to really be worrisome in terms of his rookie season last year. So I think that was like a fluke type of situation, but definitely frustrating that the starting offense did not get in the end zone once. I was really frustrated during my live stream throughout it because it felt like they were efficient, they were doing the right things, but over and over again, I felt like they were shooting themselves in the foot. So then after that performance from the Jets offense, we turn over to the Jets defense, and they get a 3-and-out. We see Michael Carter II and Quinnen Williams combine for a sack. We see them just get absolutely the New York Giants offense off the field. Michael Clemens literally destroying Tyrod Taylor, injuring him. I mean, Michael Clemens is one of the most impressive players that I've seen this entire preseason. We'll get into him later on. But the starting defense, man, they looked unbelievable. And yes, it's against the New York Giants backup, so it should be the case. But this is the first time we're finally getting to see CJ Mosley, Carl Lawson, Quinnen Williams, all the veterans on the defense, and Jordan Whitehead, of course, to play together for the first time. You know, the first 2 preseason games, none of the veterans really played. So it was awesome to see this New York Jets defense all over the place, playing with violence, playing with a sense of urgency. We see Michael Carter II getting an interception on Tyrod Taylor, on top of him getting a half a sack. So the year 2 cornerback is officially going to be a stud this year. I've been saying it all season long, off season long, that Michael Carter II is going to really establish himself this year as one of the top upcoming young slot corners in the NFL. Quinnen Williams looked like an absolute monster in the limited time we saw him today, disrupting plays after play. Carl Lawson looked great out there with bull rushes, just forcing Tyrod Taylor out of the pocket. You know, I can go on and on. Jordan Whitehead had a really good play at the line of scrimmage, showing some energy there. And Sauce Gardner, again, no targets. Nobody's throwing the ball to the right side of the field. They don't want to go to Sauce Gardner's way. And I thought it was interesting that Brendan Eccles got the start today. DJ Reed and Bryce Hall did not play. So the starting defense, man, they did what they needed to do. I feel like that. I know that the Giants' second stringers was out there, and it's expected for the Jets defense to do this, but it's only positives. And the best positive of the entire game that I forgot to even mention is there's no injuries that happened today at all. No starters, no backups, nobody got hurt. Woo, that is a relief. So hopefully we can get into week number 1 against the Ravens with a full bill of health. Now, going back onto the offense, Joe Flacco gets the ball back. He's passing the ball around. He's finding Berrios. He's looking decent. And then it's 3rd down, and then they have to punt. And that's when the offense starts getting a little out of sorts. And then the 3rd drive, I believe, Joe Flacco throws that pick 6, and it was a broken down play. It was all out blitz. Joe Flacco rolls to a right. He sees Michael Carter to check it down, but a guy that was blitzing Joe Flacco read it perfectly and just picked off Flacco to return it for 6. You know, that's obviously not what you want to see from Joe Flacco, and he definitely did not have the best day of all time. But the starting offense definitely disappointed me, because it's really unfortunate that the starting Jets offense could not put up a touchdown against the backups of the Giants defense. That's definitely a little concerning in terms of that. perspective, but I really do think that when they get a couple more weeks of practice and they prepare for the Baltimore Ravens, and if Joe Flacco is a starting quarterback, that's not going to be that much of an issue. I really expect this Jets offense to really execute at a high level, even with Joe Flacco at the quarterback spot. But there's no denying I miss Zach Wilson today. You know, I really miss Zach Wilson. I wish we got to see him play. But good news about Zach. Joe Douglas, actually was speaking to the media, Ian Eagle, and Anthony Beck during the broadcast. He said that Zach Wilson is totally on schedule, rehabbing perfectly, and he is looking good. So that's a really good sign of Zach Wilson's progression. But flipping over to when Mike White comes on the field. Mike White had a phenomenal game, 2 touchdowns, one of them to Braxton Berrios, which was a great catch and run by Braxton. Another one to Jeff Smith. Mike White had a phenomenal game, which is really good to see because Mike White didn't really have the best preseason in week 1 and week 2. So it's good to see Mike White get back to his old form that we all fell in love with last year. Mike effing White. All the playmakers around him were great. And then you see what Denzel Mims did today. Denzel Mims. I mean, what was his stats? Denzel Mims put up 7 receptions, 102 yards, and a touchdown. Let's go, Denzel. So we obviously know that Denzel Mims requested a trade a couple days ago, but it's awesome to see that Denzel actually has, you know, a game like this because we've been waiting for this for so long. I mean, this is what we expected from Denzel when we drafted him out of Baylor. Making plays, going up there, high point the ball, making plays over the middle. I mean, he's 6'3", sub 4'4", physical talent guy. Like, I love that Denzel is finally breaking out. Now, the big question lies is, what does Joe Douglas do? Is he going to still try to trade him away? Is his trade value going up? It seems like Joe Douglas does not want to trade him. He feels like Denzel is a valuable piece to this Jets team at the wide receiver spot in terms of depth. But from Denzel Mims' side of things, he wants to play. He wants to start. He does not want to be the wide receiver number 5. And the reality is he is number 5 or number 6. You're not taking Corey Davis or Elijah Moore or Garrett Wilson off the field for Denzel. That's the reality of the things. But as a Jets fan, selfishly, I'm saying I prefer to keep Denzel. I think he's a perfect guy to stash on your roster for the long run, continue to develop him because maybe he becomes a starter in the long haul. And he also can provide depth because injuries happen where his name can get called if somebody unfortunately has to go down in the middle of the season. So that's why I'm on board of keeping Denzel. But obviously Denzel and his camp wants to move on. So it'll be very interesting to see how that whole thing plays out. But for Denzel to put up 7 receptions, 102 yards, and a touchdown, that touchdown throw from Chris Streveler was beautiful. That catch was great. And he was fighting through a little injury at the end of the game as well. And then getting into Chris Streveler, bro. Chris Streveler, 10 of 13, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. And also Mike White's stats are awesome as well. I didn't get to break it down. 13 of 17, 170 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So Chris Streveler, man, baller. Absolute baller. He's a dog. We all love him. He just has a different presence to him when he's playing ball out there. He just has a different demeanor. He knows where the ball needs to go. He just scans the field, plays with poise, plays with confidence. You know, he's not the best talent in terms of arm strength or arm accuracy, but he knows where the ball needs to go. He's putting the ball where the wide receivers needs to get it. He's clutch. He's scrambling when he needs to. He's mobile. He's athletic. He's everything you want. And he throws a game-winning touchdown to Calvin Jackson. The same exact play call that he had the game-winning touchdown to Calvin Jackson against the Philadelphia Eagles in week number 1. So awesome stuff from the New York Jets. Going for it on that 4th down for the win instead of kicking a field goal and getting a tie. Let's go get the dub against the New York Giants and prove that we are the Kings of New York, baby. Let's go. So overall, positive things across the board from me. You know, the biggest names, Braxton Berrios looked great. Quan Alexander had that huge hit. I forgot to mention that. He looked like a dog. Michael Clemens continues to shine. Looked like one of the biggest bright spots on this entire preseason performance in terms of all 3 weeks. He plays with a high motor. He is absolutely tenacious. He does not give up on plays. He's sprinting until the ball is dead. Absolutely love the motor from Michael Clemens. You know, Michael Carter II looked good. There's a lot of players that really stood up big time, and we stayed healthy. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section of your biggest takeaways from today's victory over the New York Giants. Love to hear what you guys have to say. Stay tuned for more New York Jets content. It's going to be really interesting to see who makes a 53-man roster, and I'll be covering it, all that great stuff here on Jets Media. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, like the video if you guys enjoy, and of course, comment down below your biggest takeaways, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Let's go, Jets. Peace out.